Lifetime in repeat.
Hey guys, welcome back to Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc. Sorry I've been gone for so long. There was just a lot going on. I started my senior year. I just got out of the hospital last night for some stuff, and then all that good stuff. But I am back, and I'm going to try and do some more videos this week to make up for that lost time. And last time we left off, we found out that Sakura was dead, and we're going to start the investigation. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Origami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems at the same point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Monokuma file number 4 has been added to the truth bullet. I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that? The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through, and that door had been jammed shut while the chair from the inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside, and there's no way in or out to tell we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right? This is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever, but could it really happen in real life and right before our very eyes? Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind. When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after an actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanisms. There are a number of variations. So for that, we always have to do is check the door to see if that was it, right? The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh? Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from inside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door or something like that. But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any type of gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list. The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that? They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else in that set. Sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe. Then the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room. By that I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too? I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then Kyoko, which of the 4 choices seem the most likely in this case? That's a good question, and answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room. Until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. This looks something like some sort of a wrapper. Do you recognize it, Hannah? Well, yeah, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. Thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave the candy to Sakura? I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else can get their hands on them. You really like them that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they lost all their flavor. Hina. There are shards of glass shattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red and there's a top and bottom sections of the bottle, right? This must originally been a bottle. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure? It's in the palm of It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. There's blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? What else is weird? It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon, so roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoka and I were moving alter ego? There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is how those figures get inside the bottle. It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have. So this is a Monokuma version of that, a Monokuma bottle, if you will. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of these things little by little. The Monokuma bottle is sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass was probably started out as a bottle, which means Sakura must have been hit with the head of bottle, hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass on the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. Huh? The locker's open, and there on the inside is a handprint. What's a handprint doing in here? Looks like someone touched the inside of the locker and left a handprint all over the dust. Looks quite fresh, too. I say someone was hiding in the locker and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locked room was open, don't you think? And during all this confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group. Unfortunately, that's not possible. Huh? Why not? Think back before we opened the door. We looked inside the room, right? Oh yeah, the locker was already open at that point. So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does that handprint mean? The same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. Sakura drew her last breath, sitting slumped forward in the chair. There's obvious evidence of a blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that would have killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood, and I could see the trace of blood from her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically says she hadn't suffered from any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Byakuya? However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location. Interesting? Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she left a note for each one of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon? The Monokuma advised says she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself, and I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her by force even, this would have never happened. Hina, it's impossible not to have any regrets, I know. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, that might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. What did you want? Don't bother. You shouldn't bother. Oh, okay. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her here in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said? A risk of being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note in shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura at all today. Byakuya said he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can't prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as a fact. If you're all finished, please remove yourself from on my sight. Okay, thanks. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room. It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned it more than once how protein was good for all sorts of alignments. I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it saying Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem lab. But that's strange. Huh? What is? You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window that I broke to get inside. But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're underneath the can. Why does that matter? I can't say it for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it can become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure how I see how. Oh, I guess I missed a couple of things. But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who'd go down without a fight. And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong and mighty in mind and spirit. So how was the killer able to get her upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right? Certainly, they would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. This door is the only way out of the rec room. The door doesn't have any lock, and there's no evidence of the mountains have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is a smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism used the chair. In other words, okay. Okay, hold on. So the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not the outside. So the killer was in here. Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so for the most part. Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty. I can't leave. Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I'd have to go talk with others. Sakura want me to meet with two other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Those other two probably went back to their rooms. I press the doorbell. And after a few seconds, the most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay. She didn't look like she was in a good mood. Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall. You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura asked you to meet with you. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Bianca already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said two, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit, I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as a fact. Is that good enough? I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Where is his room? Over here. I pressed the doorbell. After a few seconds. What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How do you know about that? Do you maybe gaze into my soul? Have you special abilities awakened inside of you? But I'm not only the one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Bianca and Tokyo to come with her too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But did she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura? No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious. The last time I saw her was when Hannah got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets. Sorry, it looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh? Quick as wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket. Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash? Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked me to meet with her, but I never went. So, well, if you excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that it was just trash, but there's no way that there was all to it. Or that was all there was to it. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor in the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? Oh, wrong button. There we go. I don't think I remember where it's at. Oh, right here. Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say is yes, sir, I understand. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but it isn't. But I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like their shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's the powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like a bottle had a label on it, Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled? That's right, it could have only been around the time of the incident. If that really what's happened, it must be related to the case somehow. These are footprints, and they're only in the front of the shelf, left shelf. How do these footprints link to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out a floor plan. But we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an inseparable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen. Well, let's go. Chop, chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long I had drawn up a sketch of the room. So how's this? Not bad for you, I mean. For me. So when you look at it like this, interesting, it would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business on the leftmost shelf. They came and went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No. Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. Couldn't think of any reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see, your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately. But with how clear these footprints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. These footprints are really a valuable clue. Valuable clue. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor, but I better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at the powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in the front of the shelf. There's also the remains of the broken bottle. It also looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. It also looks like somebody left footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the footprints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Oh god, wrong button. Let's see what's on this shelf. There's all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelf until I can consider this part of the shelving in unit section A. Huh? But wait. There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it on here by accident? So on this shelf it looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents, but put simply, they're used in experiments to bring out a chemical reaction. How you lived in such ignorance for so long, it must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh? What, you think that studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of the lifelong loser, which I suppose suit you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All these containers on the shelf are labeled with a letter B and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit, section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here, in which case I don't have to worry about it too much. On this shelf is one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. They all look like poisons and powerful chemicals. All the containers on the shelf are labeled with a level C. So I guess I consider part of this shelving unit, section C. I should try finding out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A is dietary, Section B is reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten into the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that Section A there was a bottle labeled from Section C, which was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A. There's definitely something going on there. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should go take another look around the rec room. Let's go to the rec room. It's this way. Oh my god. I hate when I get lost because then I feel stupid. So Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko and what Toko and Hiro told me. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying. Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body and the shelf of magazines in the Monokuma bottle. These three things have revealed new clues. You do well to look over them one more time. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered on Sakura's body. Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure out anything. Well, yeah, I know, but don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's nothing getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there's still some times. I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it. That's totally normal. Then how can you? I imagine it's because I had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind. More importantly, look here. Her shoes. You see all that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out. That powder is clue number 1. Next is the wound on her head. Look carefully. Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just explain. It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows? Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing. Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one. So that was what I learned from examining her body in detail. Can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did somebody put it back that way on accident? If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word written in bloody letters. It was Toko, or it said Toko. Could this be a dying message? Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message. But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it exactly as I found it for the benefit of others who might come looking for it. Hey, that says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me think that much more suspicious. You already knew that. Something new. So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and be sure to find it. A correlation? Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is? I don't mind guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusion so that everyone has confidence in the outcome. It's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer. I do trust you to a degree, otherwise I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree. Monokuma bottle has been updated. Okay. Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's been bothering me. I like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment? Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle and try to get smaller pieces too? Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with a crime scene like that? I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And about the obnoxious Byakuya is not here. Anyway, I need to get something up from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished it up, sorry to keep you waiting. Is everything ready? Let's get to work. So what kind of experiment are we doing? I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected in the one Monokuma bottles that are still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It will make sense when we're done. First, let's compare the weight of the 2 normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced. which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same, which makes sense. The Monokuma figures and size are basically the same and nothing else could really affect the weight. Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there. Okay, then let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier. How is that possible? Just as I thought. What? The results of our experiments and the correlation between each of the bottles put it all together, and I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So what do you think? It's all on you. It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Monokuma made his announcement and everyone began to meet up one after another. And then the ultimate martial artist. A locked room murder mystery. What the? Oh, I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons. Like, no matter how awful something is, if you just toss a smiley face in front, it turns a positive. For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. That's just plain creepy. How about that? How about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put a sad face, it makes it look super negative. For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right, that does make it seem sad. Now then, please get to the elevator. I'll see you all down there. What the hell was that? I don't get it. I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone? I don't think I'm acting casual. I didn't murder anyone. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer? Whatever. Either way, the truth will be reviewed soon enough, because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer, the one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know, and yet someone killed her. And that person is here. That person is one of us. Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way toward the elevator, but with each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets easier. We climbed into our steel prison into total silence. We watched the door close. And it began a sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its to all familiar clinking sounds. It fell lower and lower, and as it suddenly has always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Alright guys, and that's where I'm going to leave it. We will do the whole class trial in a different video. I still want to apologize just for being away for so long. I'm going to try my best to try and keep up with these videos during my senior year. It's just really, really tough. If you guys are enjoying this, please leave a like and a comment. And also, if you guys want any new games you want me to play, just comment below and I can take a look at them. While you're down there, to hit the subscribe button if you're new and hit the little bell to know what you know when I upload. Later.
A lifetime in repeat.